Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm joined by Elaine Penhaul, who is one of the UK's top property house home stagers with her firm Lemon and Lime Interiors. Thanks for joining me today, Elaine.
Pleasure. Many thanks for having me.
Now, Elaine, I know you do an awful lot of work for Fine and Country, Savills and Knight Frank, to name but a few. The question I want to ask you today is how do estate agents get across that difficult question of making sure that the homeowner tidies up the house and cleans up the house before they put it on the market? Talk to me.
The advantage of working with a home stager such as ourselves is that actually the agent no longer has to have that difficult conversation. What they are able to offer, and the premium agents with whom we work, what they're able to offer is a consultation with experts in professional property presentation ahead of them coming onto the market. And most people, particularly because we don't charge for that initial consultation, if it comes through one of our estate agents, most people are more than happy to have a conversation about how to really get the very best out of their photographs. So we can then go along, they can offer a consultation. Yep, fantastic. We'll then be introduced, we go along and we can have the conversation over a cup of coffee in the kitchen about how to get the best sale.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people mix up home stagers as interior designers. Is that because of the American, our perception of home staging from America?
I think it's a common misconception because it's not something that we have habitually done in this country until relatively recently. Okay. And in the States, I think we've regarded it as a bit of an American fad, if you like. What we sell in this country is bricks and mortar, and people can see past clutter and all of that kind of message. And when somebody like myself come in and say, look, let's make it look amazing before your sale so that you get the best sale, clients, vendors will think, oh, they're just talking about interior design. I don't want interior design because I'm moving anyway and I don't want to spend the money. And forgetting that everything else we put on a shelf or we're going to sell in this country, we do market and we do make it look its absolute best before we try to sell.
Do you think it helps estate agents? Because let's be honest, we're in the summer of 2021. The market is on fire at the moment. Do we really, we don't need any help to sell more houses, do we?
In a hot market, exactly as it's been for the last the last year or so, Chris, it's really important that vendors get the absolute maximum value for their property. So in a market like this, it's not so much about just getting the sale, it's about getting competing offers. It's about getting people fighting over your property because it's exactly the right property, looks amazing, there aren't very many properties on the market, and it will then push up competing offers. We've had them going at 15% over asking.
Well, the sort of prices that Savills and Knight Frank and Finer Countries of this world, you're going to be getting £100,000, £200,000 more.
And that's been a very common theme over the last 12 months.
Okay, so I tell you what would be interested for the boys and girls out there in estate agency land is, have you got an example of a house where you've actually done the before and after photographs of a tidy up?
Yeah, we've got a lot of those. So this one, for example, was...
So where's this house? What sort of house is this?
This one is in South Derbyshire. It's a
Let's have a look at the front photograph.
Very nice.
Oh, lovely blue door there.
Yes, lovely blue
looks
door. In a very nice village. It's a kind of a doll's house type property. So really very pretty property in a very nice village. And this one was a bit of a mess, as you can see.
Look at that.
Before we went in.
So what room is that one there then?
So that's what we then transformed into the main sitting room.
It's a lovely sitting room with that window. So did you put the mirror above the fireplace?
Beautiful, yep. Really pretty little fireplace that you can barely see in this photograph, where it's got the television over it, lots of clutter, photography obviously very dark.
Okay, let's look at the next room.
So
that's the kitchen.
This was the
kitchen.
Wow,
that's a blinder, that one. Then blue and white tiles.
Yeah, and big dogs. You can see the dog cage just in front of the Aga. So you can imagine the smell in this kitchen before we started as well. And completely transformed.
Look at that kitchen. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Homes and Gardens, that is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, completely.
Okay. Wow. I mean, what's that?
Next
Utility room
room,
with the.
and this was actually the second reception room. So the one to the
Okay.
right, you remember from the front
But
photograph.
estate agents wouldn't take photographs like that. But do you telling me it was thinking like a? Okay. Okay.
You've seen some of the photographs
I
on
have.
Rightmove.
Okay, so yeah, I must admit I've seen some photographs. They're atrocious. Is that the same room with the fireplace and the white
That's
settee?
the same room. That's the same
No.
room, Chris. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Same
Okay.
room.
So what else have we got in this house?
So this
My
house going
word.
upstairs. So
that so?
again, lovely period fireplace there, beautiful
Are
built-in
you really
cupboards
telling me
and
estate
so on.
agents would take photographs that?
So-
Yes, I think yes, we will see. Them, won't we? Okay.
In my book, Chris, I've said you only have to go through 3 photographs on Rightmove, 3 houses on Rightmove to find an unmade bed.
Okay. I mean, there's the book, boys and girls. Sell high, sell fast. There you go.
So
Yeah. Okay.
again,
Keep going. What
there,
else? What other
and we're
photographs
going
have we
to
got?
there.
Okay.
So again, bunk beds, beautiful period fireplace again in this room, bunk
Okay.
beds straight in front of it.
Okay. And you say this stunk to high heaven. It wasn't pretty.
It wasn't pretty. It was not a pretty
Okay.
house inside. This one became on the top floor in the eaves.
Those
beautiful
beams up nice,
bedrooms.
don't they? Okay.
Yeah, just massively
Just
created dressing room.
nice little blue chair there. That's quite nice. Yeah,
So
it's
suddenly people just start to think, wow.
okay. So did the agent have to pay for that?
No, normally the home seller will pay for the staging. In this case, there was some work done on the property as well, where we did some decorating and changed bathroom and so on. In a lot of cases, we declutter without necessarily doing any decorating or anything. It depends on budgets and so
So
on.
apart from ripping out kitchens and bathrooms and decorating, ballpark, what does this normally cost the homeowner?
So declutter and dress ready for photographs is normally somewhere around 0.5% of the guide price, of the list price. If we're fully furnishing, then that might come in anything up to 1.5% of the guide price.
But if you're getting 15% more, now I'm assuming you're not expecting the estate agent to sell your services. You're good at selling the services and telling the stories to the vendors.
All the estate agent has to do is to introduce us and ask that we might contact the vendor directly.
And the agents will go along the lines of, let's be honest, most estate agents, all they're interested in is the listing. Is look, Mr. Vendor, Mrs. Vendor. I think there are some aspects of the property which I think you could do with some improvement with, but it's probably going to get an extra $100,000. Could I introduce you to my colleague, Elaine, or one of your colleagues from Lemon and Lime, to see if we can get you? Would you be interested in getting an extra $100,000 for a free appointment? Is that the way it goes?
That's the way it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you charge on when they've sold the house? Then is that?
We have a mixed model depending on budgets, depending on cash flow. Every property is different. In an ideal world, then the staging is charged prior to the sale happening. However, particularly in a circumstance, for example, a bereavement, and if we're selling something, if we're helping to sell something that's part of somebody's estate, then we might move the cost to the end.
Lovely. What I'd like to do is in the other videos that we're going to talk about is different how estate agents can use the services to get them more listings. So maybe we could talk about that. So thank you very much for that.
My pleasure. Thank you.